Garden of Seerah. The Prophet ﷺ receives revelation for the first time. Sending salat and salam on the Prophet ﷺ. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama salayta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidul Majid. O Allah, praise Muhammad and the family of Muhammad as you have praised Ibrahim and the family of Ibrahim. Verily you are the most praiseworthy, most majestic. When we send blessings upon the Prophet ﷺ, then Allah will praise us. Allah commanded us to follow and obey the Prophet ﷺ. Remember last week we talked about the placing of the black stone? Allah chose the Prophet ﷺ to place the black stone, and that is based on the perfect wisdom and knowledge of Allah. When the Prophet ﷺ was 40 years old, something great happened. He had the feeling to be alone, not because he was lonely or had a problem. He loved his wife and family, but he just wanted to be alone to worship Allah so that he could focus. The Prophet ﷺ never worshipped an idol and never drank or did any of the acts of Jahiliyyah, and that was Allah's protection for him. He went to the cave of Hira. He had food with him to eat, and he used to have dreams, and the next day it would exactly happen. This was all glad tidings for the Prophet ﷺ to prepare him for something bigger. On one of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ was worshipping Allah, but then something great happened. An angel with many wings came to him and hugged him tightly. He told him, "Read," and the Prophet ﷺ said, "I can't read." The angel hugged him tightly again and said, "Read," and the Prophet ﷺ replied, "I can't read." Then the angel hugged him a third time and said, "Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Iqra' bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Khalaqal insana min 'alaq. Iqra' wa rabbukal akram. Alladhi 'allama bil qalam. 'Allamal insana ma lam ya'lam." Read in the name of your Lord who has created all that exists. He has created a man from clot, a piece of thick coagulated blood. Read, and your Lord is the most generous, who has taught the writing by the pen. He has taught man that which he knew not. Who was this angel? It was Jibreel alayhi salam. We cannot see angels, but we believe in them. They are made of light and they have wings. The angel Jibreel alayhi salam has the task of bringing revelation to the Prophet ﷺ. He has a great mission, but he hugged the Prophet ﷺ first so that he is not scared. The angel Jibreel brought down the first ayat of the Quran to the Prophet ﷺ. This shows Allah will teach the Prophet ﷺ and he will convey the message to the people. Allah said to read, but he will teach you and he will teach you the Quran, and this is the start of the revelation and the start of prophethood. When the Prophet ﷺ heard these words, he didn't know what was to come of it. He left the cave and went straight to his wife Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her, and this shows the Prophet ﷺ is also human and can get scared. What happened next? Next week, inshaAllah. Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Best people who learn the Quran and teach it to others. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خيركم من تعلم القرآن وأعلمه. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "The best among you is he who learns and teaches the Quran." خيركم. We all want to be from the best, and what will it make us? When we learn the Quran and teach it to others. من تعلم القرآن. The Quran is the best book and it guides to the best. We all ask Allah to teach us the Quran. وَأَعْلَمَهُ. When we learn something so good and great, then for sure we want to tell the others, like our mother, father, brother, and sister. Remember that when we tell others, we should tell them in a good and nice way. When we learn the Quran and tell others, then we'll be from the best people. May Allah make us from those who learn the Quran and teach it. Ameen. From this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is teaching us to learn the Quran and teach it to others so that we can be from the best people. May Allah make us love the Prophet ﷺ.